Tottenham Hotspur, Europa League champions. I mean, did you see that coming? 1-0 against Manchester United in the final.
Honestly, no, not really.
Let's really get into this because, look, this wasn't just a trophy win. It felt like something bigger for them.
Yeah, definitely. We've got the match summary here, all the key moments laid out.
And we've also been listening to some, well, pretty fascinating audio analysis. It really dives into how this, frankly, unlikely win happened and the story of the manager behind it all.
Exactly, because our goal here isn't just the scoreline, right? We want to understand those pivotal moments, what actually won it for Tottenham.
And maybe more importantly, dig into the manager's journey. Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, explore what makes this win so significant, especially when you think about where these teams were in the league. Spurs 17th.
Just above United in 16th.
I mean, a Europa League final between 16th and 17th, that's, well, it's pretty unusual, to say the least.
Unexpected is putting it mildly. It really makes you wonder, how on earth did this final happen? So let's start with the game itself. Tottenham won, Manchester United 0. Played at San Mamés Athletic Club's ground.
Yep, in Bilbao. And the goal, well, wasn't exactly a classic, was it?
A bit scrappy.
You could say that. Brennan Johnson, first half,
Mm-hmm.
got on the end of a cross from Matar Sarr.
Didn't that start with Bentancur winning the ball back?
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
Good work from him in midfield, picks it up, finds Sarr, and then Sarr gets past Luke Shaw.
Ah, yes, the summary highlighted that. Not Shaw's best moment defensively.
No, definitely a lapse there. But look, even with just that one goal, it wasn't like United didn't create anything.
Right, the summary mentions a few close shaves for Spurs.
Several, yeah. Casemiro had a header just wide. Maguire missed a decent chance with his head, too. Xerxes and Hudgeland had shots blocked as well. You know, they were definitely knocking on the door.
And thankfully for Spurs, Guglielmo Vicario seems to have had one of his good days in goal.
Oh, absolutely. The saves mentioned against Shaw, Garnacho, Lenny Yoro. Sounds like he was kept pretty busy.
He must have been crucial.
Totally. And United also racked up quite a few corners, didn't they? The stats show a fair number.
But just couldn't make them count.
Nope. Couldn't find that breakthrough. The audio analysis we listened to suggested both teams were maybe a bit cautious to start.
Understandable in a final.
Sure. But once Spurs got that goal, their focus really shifted. It became about protecting that lead.
Which you can definitely see in the second half stats. Manchester United had, 16 attempts?
16 attempts on goal compared to Tottenham's 3. Just 3.
Wow. And possession. Only 27% for Spurs. They really had to dig deep.
Absolutely. Real backs-to-the-wall stuff. And that incredibly low number of completed passes, just 150.
115 passes in a whole game.
It paints a picture, doesn't it? A team under siege, just trying to clear their lines. Hold on.
But there was that massive scare late on, wasn't there? The moment that must have stopped Tottenham hearts.
Oh, yeah. That late United set piece. Vicario comes for it.
Doesn't get there.
Doesn't get there. Hojlund gets a header on target.
Right.
And then Micky van de Ven.
Unbelievable clearance off the line.
Just incredible. And even then, it wasn't over. Romero had to block Yoro's follow-up shot.
Absolute chaos in the box.
Proper last-ditch defending. And then we had 7 minutes of added time.
7 minutes. Felt longer, I bet.
Felt like an eternity for Spurs fans, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And Luke Shaw nearly equalized again right at the end. Another header saved.
Tense stuff. And a few yelling cards dished out, too, as you'd expect.
Yeah, standard for a final. Both managers used their subs, tried to change things.
But Spurs held on.
They did. What a defensive effort in that second half, and what a reward. This is huge for Tottenham.
Huge is right. Their first major trophy since, when was it, 2008? The League Cup.
That's the one. 2008. That is a long, long wait for a club like Tottenham. Ending that drought, it means everything to those fans.
And here's the kicker, despite finishing 17th in the league, this win gets them into the Champions League next season.
Incredible, isn't it? Talk about salvaging something from a tough domestic season. A massive silver lining.
It's such a contrast to Manchester United's year, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The analysis we heard painted a pretty bleak picture for them. Their worst season since, 1974 when they got relegated.
Wow. Down in 16th. This final was maybe seen as their chance for a dignity save?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
A chance to salvage some pride, get into Europe themselves.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen for them.
Which brings us to the man who made it happen for Spurs, Ange Postecoglou.
Right. Ange. What a story.
A Greek-Australian manager who, let's be honest, faced a lot of doubt when he arrived at Tottenham. Remember the reaction? Spurs, really? What can he do there?
Oh, yeah. Plenty of skepticism, lots of Tottenham, that's all kind of comments. But, if you actually look at his track record, there's this fascinating pattern.
The second season thing?
Exactly. The audio analysis really hammered this point home. He seems to have this knack for winning silverware in his second season wherever he goes.
Okay, let's hear it.
Right. So, South Melbourne FC, back in Australia, multiple league titles, the Oceania Club Championship.
Yeah.
All around that second season mark. Brisbane Roar, again in Australia, back-to-back titles, that amazing 36-game unbeaten run.
Wow.
Then the Australian national team wins the AFC Asian Cup in 2015.
His second major tournament cycle, basically.
Pretty much. Then off to Japan, Yokohama F. Marinos, wins the J-League title. Guess when?
The second season.
The second season. And then Celtic, most recently. 2 league titles, a domestic treble, all wrapped up within 2 seasons.
It's almost uncanny. It's like a formula.
It really is something. And his personal journey, that adds another layer, doesn't it?
Moving to Australia from Greece, age 5, family escaping the military junta, his father's business collapsing. That must build some serious resilience.
You'd have to think so. The analysis highlighted his father, Dimitris, as a huge influence.
Yeah.
Football was clearly massive for them.
And the club, South Melbourne Hellas, important for the Greek community there.
Hugely important. A real focal point. Helped them belong. Ange faced some prejudice growing up, apparently, and his dad, big football fan, got him playing at South Melbourne from age 9. That environment shaped him.
And he was a player, too, right? Not just involved off the pitch.
Yeah, a solid defender for South Melbourne. Scored a fair few goals, too, 27, I think.
Yeah.
Won league titles as a player. Clearly had that competitive drive.
But injury ended his playing career early.
Yeah, late 20s. But he went straight into coaching. Assistant at South Melbourne. Then got the top job pretty young. Had players older than him in the squad.
And found success quickly.
Immediately. Those back-to-back titles, the Oceania win, which led to them playing Man United, Sir Alex Ferguson's United, in the Club World Cup in 2000.
Right. They lost 2-0, but still. Talk about full circle.
Exactly. Facing Fergie then, beating United in a European final now. Incredible.
Then he managed the Australian youth teams. That wasn't all smooth sailing, was it?
No, there was some success, but also that controversy. He criticized the federation's funding.
Never shy about speaking his mind, sounds like.
Apparently not. And he ended up getting sacked after the under-20s missed World Cup qualification, though the rules had changed when Australia moved to Asia. Maybe ruffled a few feathers.
He had a couple of tough spells in Greece after that.
Yeah, brief, less successful stints. But then he came back to Australia, to Brisbane Roar. And that's where things really took off again.
That felt like a turning point.
Absolutely transformative. He brought in this really attacking, possession-heavy style, made bold calls, like dropping senior players. They were brilliant.
Barcelona, they called them.
That's the nickname. That unbeaten run, the titles, it put him right back in the spotlight.
Then a short time at Melbourne Victory before the big one, the Australian national team job. Quite a comeback from being sacked at youth level.
It really was. Qualified them for the 2014 World Cup, and then the big one, winning the 2015 Asian Cup on home soil.
Against Son South Korea in the final.
Yeah, Son scored that late equalizer too. Dramatic final. But then, Ange resigned shortly after qualifying them for the 2018 World Cup.
Interesting timing. Seems like he follows his own path.
Always has, by the sounds of it. Then off to Japan, Yokohama F. Marinos.
And wins the league in his second season. We're back to the pattern.
We are indeed. And then Celtic, which really put him on the map for bigger European clubs.
His success there was undeniable. Inherited a team that had just lost the title, turned it around completely. Back-to-back titles, the treble.
You can see why Spurs came calling in 2023.
Even his arrival caused a stir, didn't it? All the chat about his Aussie slang, mate this, mate that.
Yeah, that got a lot of attention. He had a decent first season, got them 5th. But this season, domestically, it's been tougher. Inconsistent.
And didn't he make some comment about winning a cup this season, which became a bit of a joke?
He did. Said something like, "That's why I'm here, mate, to win things," implying a second season trophy. As they got knocked out of the FA Cup, the League Cup, the media had a bit of fun with it.
But he gets the last laugh.
He absolutely does. He has this reputation for delivering, for being a winner. And this Europa League fits that second season pattern perfectly across different countries, different leagues, international football.
And the analysis pointed out he hasn't won trophies where he didn't stay for that second season.
That's a really telling point. It underlines the pattern. And look, history made too. First Australian manager to win a major European trophy.
Despite his Greek roots, yeah.
And the first manager from outside Europe or Argentina to do it. It's a landmark achievement.
Okay, let's dig into the tactics of the final itself. The audio analysis really stressed Postecoglou's flexibility.
Yeah, they contrasted it quite sharply with what they saw as a more rigid approach from the Manchester United bench.
Oh, so?
Well, Ange showed real pragmatism. Once they got the lead, he didn't just stick blindly to his usual attacking Ange ball. The team adapted.
Drop deeper.
Yeah, more compact, harder to break down. And late in the game, he even switched things up. Brought on Kevin Dantzl for Brennan Johnson, went to a 5 at the back.
To see the game out.
Exactly. That ability to react, to manage the situation, protect the lead. The analysis suggested United lacked that same adaptability, perhaps sticking too rigidly to their system.
Which is interesting because Ange has sometimes been criticized for being too attacking, that high line leaving them exposed.
Right. But this shows he can be pragmatic when the situation demands it. We saw glimpses in other European games, and definitely in this final. He's not just a one-trick pony.
And individual performances were key too, obviously. Brennan Johnson getting the winner after facing a bit of stick from fans sometimes.
Yeah, that's a great story for him, delivering in the final like that. Huge.
And Christian Romero, the analysis singled him out, didn't it?
Oh, massively.
Yeah.
Said he's outstanding. Apparently, this was his 5th straight win in a major final he's played in.
Wow, that's some record.
Incredible. And the psychological edge he has, unsettling forwards like Maguire, his defending the blocks, winning headers, just pure aggression combined with modern defensive skill. They call them world class.
You can see why clubs like Atletico Madrid might be interested.
Absolutely. A monster performance.
And Vicario saves, despite maybe that one wobble on the set piece.
Yeah.
And Van de Ven's clearance.
Crucial moments. Can't forget the midfield either. Sarr, Bazuma, Bentancur, they put in a real shift defensively.
Wingers tracking back too. Richarlison, Johnson.
Yep, loads of hard work off the ball. Everyone bought in.
On the flip side, the analysis was a bit critical of some United players.
Yeah, I felt Bruno Fernandes maybe wasn't as influential as he can be, despite being involved. Højlund had a quiet game up front.
And some questions about the tactical decisions. Substitutions.
Maybe not reacting quickly enough or bringing on the right type of player when chasing the game. Like not replacing Mazraoui with someone more attacking sooner. Just a perceived lack of a clear plan B.
But some positives for United too, younger players.
Yeah, glimpses from Lenny Yoro, who Spurs apparently blocked twice late on, and Amad Diallo looked lively when he came on. So, some bright sparks for their future, perhaps.
And the emotion at the end. And Son Heung-min.
Yeah, the analysis mentioned he was incredibly emotional, finally winning that big trophy with Spurs after staying loyal for so long.
It's an interesting contrast, isn't it? Him winning this, while Harry Kane left specifically to win trophies and got his first league title with Bayern this year, too.
It is. Son sticking it out, finally getting that reward with Tottenham. The fans will absolutely adore him for it. Expect a massive parade.
This really does feel like it could be a turning point for Spurs. Ending the drought, Champions League football. Huge boost.
It could be massive for their confidence for the project. And Ange dedicating it to the fans who've waited so long, that was a nice touch.
Though you still have the weirdness of winning a European trophy while finishing 17th, a season of real extremes.
Different highs and lows.
Yeah.
But they ended on the highest possible note in Europe.
And that quote from Ange about his late father, seeing him in his reflection.
Yeah, really powerful stuff, talking about his dad being with him, seeing him when he looked in the mirror after the game. It just connects everything back to his personal journey, his inspiration, a reminder of why he does it.
So let's wrap this up. Key takeaways. Tottenham's pretty stunning Europa League win, the huge significance of that trophy after such a long wait, and the incredible story, the tactical smarts of Ange Postecoglou.
And you just can't ignore that second season success rate. It's happened again. South, Melbourne, Brisbane, Australia, Yokohama, Celtic, and now Tottenham in Europe. It's undeniable.
Which leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What now for Spurs and for Ange? Can they actually build on this, turn this European success into consistent Premier League form?
Or, has he done the Ange thing again, delivered the second season trophy, and will his journey maybe take him somewhere else eventually?
Right.
It makes you think about that blend he has, the tactical nous, the flexibility he showed here, but also that core unwavering belief that seems to get results, especially in year 2. What comes next?